Good evening and happy Chanukah. As the Festival of Lights Chanukah began today, we welcome the Mayor of Nashville, Mayor Megan Barry, who is continuing in the footsteps of her predecessors by having the menorah lit now for the 12th year in a row by a sitting Nashville mayor. We welcome the council members that are here, the leadership of Nashville's Jewish community, including my colleagues, the clergy from Congregation Sheretz Israel, West End Synagogue, the Temple, and Congregation Micah. Thanks to the mayor for arranging this big Hanukkah celebration here this year. As the Rabbi of Chabad of Nashville, it is my privilege to once again take part in this beautiful Hanukkah celebration in the great city of Nashville and see so many different people here together to celebrate as one. Thanks to the Parks Department and to the City Council for making this a reality. How privileged we are to be able to light the menorah publicly and proudly without any fear or worry of discrimination. For how many Jews and how many countries today can truly say that? Sadly, in recent weeks, our world has gone wild, absolutely crazy. Just about anywhere we look, we can find tragedy, pain, and suffering. We become numb from the news of another shooting or another day of darkness. But my friends, if we look a bit harder, we can find beauty, love, and support. We find miracles amongst the havoc, and we find fellow human beings who created miracles amongst the ashes. And it is truly a question of what we care to see and what we care to focus on. If all we see in this world is negative, it will paralyze us, for fear is debilitating. It makes us impossible to move forward, to grow and to develop. But my friends, love is transformative. It helps us to find the good, to see the good that is around us. And as we know, during the story of Hanukkah, the Maccabees came into a desecrated holy temple, but they couldn't find any pure olive oil to burn the menorah, for all the olive oil was defiled by the Greeks. But instead of seeing darkness, they kept on pushing for light, and miraculously they found one jug of olive oil, enough to illuminate for one night. And this was the miracle of Hanukkah. The tiny jug lasted for 8 days. And friends, that is a personal message to all of us here tonight. For every human being has a divine soul that shines brightly. And at times we might feel uninspired, that our oil has been defiled. We might feel that we've become too secularized, that we've lost our sensitivity to the spiritual, and that our heritage and values are not part of our daily experiences. So comes the holiday of Hanukkah and tells us that within every single one of us there's a small jug of pure, holy oil, which is a godly soul, the spark that is within us. It is a part of us that feels warm inside every time we do something positive for something else, for someone else, and every time we connect with our religion and our heritage. And that jug of oil, that holy pure essence, is who we are, and that is undefilable. And although it might be very small in quantity, it's a miraculous little jug which can light up our lives and brighten up our daily experience with godliness. So my friends, while we will never forget those whose lives have been impacted so harshly by the recent tragedies, we know that we will get through this. We will combat the darkness by creating more light. So as we close the remarks to welcome you all here, I ask of you all to let's create a miracle here tonight as we share the warmth and light of Hanukkah with one another, and we kindle our own menorahs in our own homes tonight. Let us be inspired to add more spiritual light to our lives, allowing that inner spark, that tiny jug of pure oil, to light up our inner menorahs, to shine and illuminate our lives with godliness and goodness. It is my honor and privilege to introduce to you the President of the Nashville Board of Rabbis to read a reading on Hanukkah.
These days when we celebrate religious freedom, the reminder that a little light can dispel much darkness, we insert this reading into our daily gratitude prayers and candle lighting. during Chanukah. It says, "We give thanks to you, God, for the miracles, for the redeeming wonders and the mighty deeds by which at this season our people was saved in the days of old. In the days of the Hasmoneans, a tyrant arose against our ancestors, determined to make them forget your Torah, your teaching, and to turn them away from adherence to your will. But you were at their side in time of trouble. You gave them strength to struggle and to triumph, that they might serve you in freedom. Through the power of your Spirit, the weak defeated the strong, the few prevailed over the many, and the righteous were triumphant. Then your children returned to your house to purify the sanctuary and kindle its lights. And they dedicated these days to give thanks and to praise your great name."
I'd like to welcome the Congressman from District 35, Dave Rosenberg.
Thank you, Rabbi. I'm honored to be here today to welcome you all on behalf of Nashville's Metro Council. Our Metro Council, like Nashville, is famously diverse, and that extends to holiday traditions, as no fewer than 5 of our members grew up lighting the Chanukah lights. It's a special time of year, a time for our families to share special moments together, and a time for our communities to come together. It's a time to celebrate our wonderful traditions, our past, our present, and our future. I have vivid childhood memories of Hanukkah that hold deep meaning to me. Memories of lighting the menorah with my family and opening gifts for 8 wondrous nights, of learning the story of Hanukkah alongside family and friends and the meaning behind it, of spinning the dreidel with family and friends and the overindulgence and M&Ms and Hanukkah gelt that came with it. And now it's so special to share these same traditions with my new family members, my wife and kids, and my new friends. The common thread among all these memories, old and new, family and friends, community. In a time when minority perspectives, minority traditions, minority concerns are so often ignored, mocked, or treated with hostility, both by a small segment of the citizenry and prominent portion of partisan leadership, it's refreshing to live in a city such as ours. In a time when the unknown is feared and the unseen is suspect, it's gratifying to live in a city such as ours. A city that strives not just to tolerate, but to benefit from our varied backgrounds, because we recognize that no person is perfect or omniscient. And as we move forward, I'm so pleased we have a mayor who recognizes the value of all the cultures and traditions that are represented in Nashville, such as those we're celebrating on this Hanukkah. A mayor who seeks a great future for our entire city, who knows that the best way to reach our potential is to travel there together. It's my distinct pleasure to introduce the Chief Executive of Nashville, Mayor Megan Barry.
Thank you, Councilman Rosenberg. I really appreciate it. I would like to take a moment to just recognize some of the other elected officials who are here with us today. I know we have Vice Mayor David Briley. We just heard from Councilman Dave Rosenberg. We have Jim Schulman, Larry Hager, Mina Johnson, Fabian Bedney, Angie Henderson, Freddie O'Connell, Karen Johnson, and we also are welcoming tonight Chief Anderson and Parks Director Tommy Lynch. So we appreciate all that you have done. I would really like to first acknowledge that as we look at today's program, it was made possible from the participation of Rabbi Tactile, Rabbi Mackler, Rabbi Strasberg, and of course, I'm going to mess this up, the Shimtones. I was practicing this morning with my husband, who is of the Jewish faith, and he said, "You are such a shitska." See, I may have messed that up too. We'd also like, I'm sorry. Oh, and Rabbi Rice is here, of course. I would also like to really thank former council member Ronnie Stein, who really helped put all of this together. And it's wonderful to be here to celebrate light and Hanukkah. And when I think about the Festival of Lights, I think about what we do when we put light into darkness. And when we light the darkness, we see that everyone has opportunity. We see that everyone is special. And we have the opportunity to make Nashville and our community better. Since I became mayor, I've been amazed about all of the great things that happen in Nashville every day. This is a city full of people who care, regardless of their faith or their traditions. We are a people who come together, who celebrate each other, who care deeply for each other and care deeply for Nashville. And I think that's reflected in the wonderful group of folks I have standing behind me tonight. As we begin Hanukkah, as we celebrate the victory of the Jewish people more than 2,000 years ago, of the miracle that kept the temple's menorah lit for 8 days, we need to remember to keep that spirit centrally in our world. Each of us can be that light in the darkness, and each of us is that light every day. I am very thankful to be here today, and I look forward to lighting the menorah.
Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner Chanukah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asa nisim lavoteinu bayamim hahem b'hazman hazeh. Continue the tradition of sharing with the mayor of Nashville a menorah that will be placed in City Hall here at the courthouse. As the mayor, the official representative of all the citizens in Nashville, is the one that is the shamash, which is the center candle on the menorah, the one that shares light to all the other candles. So Mayor Barry, on behalf of the entire Jewish community of Nashville and all of the clergy and adults and children that are out here today, we present you this beautiful menorah for a joyous and a happy Hanukkah.
Thank you so much.